chiseled jawline can change everything for you. Imagine going up the attractiveness scale from a 5 to a 7 or a 7 to a 9. Yes, a chiseled jawline is the one thing that can instantly elevate your looks because it makes you more handsome and masculine. In this video, we're going to show you exactly how to get a chiseled jawline. Let's get into it. Your jawline is the same as your abs. It's there. It's underneath the chubby cheek fat. I never thought I had a jawline. I'm not saying I've got the best jawline in the world, but if you compare what I look like here versus what I look like here, you can tell that there is some jawline action that gets more defined as I lose the fat on my face. So just as you lose the belly fat and suddenly you find that you have abs underneath, so too does your jawline get revealed when you actually start to lose the fat around your face. So this is what you first need to understand. It is mostly about dropping your body fat level and not as much about exercising your jaw with all these fancy equipment that are getting sold over Instagram and all these other places. Therefore, dropping body fat is the fastest and the highest leverage way for you to reveal the jawline that you already have. Now you might say, okay, what if I don't already have a jawline? You do. Trust me, you do. You have a skull, and most skull, the jawbone is structured so that you do have it. It's just that a lot of fat is gathered around the lower cheeks and your neck. So the natural next question is, how do you reduce your body fat percentage? You gotta first of all stay in a caloric deficit. That's what's gonna allow you to lose weight. But losing weight is not the same as losing fat. This is another mistake that people make. Oh, I'm just gonna lose weight. No, you gotta lose body fat. So how do you reduce body fat percentage? You gotta increase the amount of muscle you have in your body and reduce the amount of fat you have in the body so that the ratio of fat to muscle changes. That's how body fat percentage starts to go down. So on the one hand, you need to stay in a caloric deficit, and you need to couple that with some kind of muscle training, resistance training, so that you preserve muscle or build muscle as you do that. And this process is how you drop body fat, which we said was 90% of revealing the jawline rather than building a jawline, which technically doesn't make sense because it's your skull. Next, you don't want to look like Christian Bale in this movie. You can have the jawline, all the best jawline in the world, but does that look good to you? No, it does not. You need to build a jawline by having more muscle overall in your entire body. And that's actually going to make your jawline pop more, because not only do you look healthy, you actually increase the proportion of your body in relation to your head, which will make your head look smaller and your jaws more defined. Now, this gets into why jawlines are attractive in the first place. It's because it's a sign of high testosterone. It's a sign of masculinity. And when you train your whole body, you increase the conditions for testosterone production. And that's what's likely to bring out that angular jawline. And you can see this purely from the fact that people that take steroids and testosterone supplements, they actually start to get more angular jawline, right? They build muscle around their jaw. And that leads us to the next point, which is increase your testosterone. Now, obviously, I'm not saying go into taking these TRTs and steroids or whatever. I mean, to be honest, you do what you will. I just don't touch that stuff because I don't know anything about it. So how do you increase your testosterone? You got to get good sleep. You got to get good sunlight. You got to eat enough fats. You got to train in the gym for building muscle and strength, and you got to get cholesterol. Those are the ingredients that are going to give you 80-90% of testosterone. Don't fall for all this other stuff. Do that first, and then you'll have better testosterone. And now you're coupling that with all the training you're doing in the gym. This is what's going to change your facial structure slowly but surely to that of a more angular face. Next, there are facial muscles right around the jaw, and you can feel it when you bite down on your teeth. And these muscles can get trained by doing facial exercises, whether it's chewing gum. You're constantly working these jaw exercises. Another way to do it would be mewing, which is a way where you put your tongue right on the ceiling of the mouth and you sleep like this. You try to stay like this, and it engages those muscles and puts your jaw structure in the right place. Personally, I've never really done mewing or taping my mouth and things like this. I think those are, again, very marginal things you can do when you should spend most of your time worrying about the other stuff like dropping body fat and training hard, which, again, like I said, will move the needle much more. But those facial muscles, chewing gum, models will talk about this, chewing gum and mewing. And so these things definitely do play a role if you want that extra cherry on top. It's like doing those extra ab exercises in the gym. Next, the neck doesn't actually target your jawline specifically, but it's something that gets neglected when we talk about having that masculine face and that masculine look, and that is your neck. If your neck is super thin and it looks like your head is just on a popsicle on a little stick, then whatever, you can have a chiseled jawline, but you'll just look like a pretty model boy, like a little brother. You won't look that masculine, sexy look. You do want to train your neck, and having defined neck muscles again is what's going to kind of separate the jawline from the neck. If you have this kind of podgy, round, fatty neck, then your jawline is kind of washed into it. But if you have neck muscles, if you have less fat around your neck by training it and dropping to a low body fat, that's what's going to give you that separation between the face and the neck. Just as when you train your shoulders and your arms, the separation between the shoulder and the arm is going to make the shoulder and the arm look better and bigger. You want to do neck training with things like neck curls, reverse neck curls, and neck bridges. And another thing is to do chin tucks, which are basically when you tuck your chin back, not looking down, but just tuck your chin back and almost elongate the spine of your neck, the upper part of your neck. This is not only really good for neck health, it can actually engage all the muscles down the side and back of your neck, which again is a great exercise to do. Next, the last point, guys, is to fix the laptop and phone posture. I think most of you expected this, and you know this already, is that most of us stay with this posture when we do our work, when we live our sedentary life, and this is a great way to never reveal your jawline, even if you have one. So if you try to keep like that nice neck posture, you do some chin tucks, you do some neck training, you work the posterior chain, then these are all things that are going to fix your posture, which again is going to give you that confident masculine look, which is really what matters at the end of the day. Because if you have the jawline and a crappy posture, who gives a toss, right? Combine those tips in one. Remember the 80-20 rule. What's going to get you 80, in fact 90% of the results is the dropping body fat and building muscle across your entire body. Then you have all these other things like chin tucks, neck training, facial muscles. If you have that order in mind, then you'll get your chiseled jawline in no time. If you want me to guide you in dropping body fat, building muscle, all of that, then I coach people on live calls. You'll get to talk to me directly in my private community called Minimalist Training Club. Check out the link below. But if not, if you just want to get a chiseled jawline to finally get a girlfriend, take these tips, rewind them back, send it to a friend. See you next week.